so today's pick is from an American progressive metal band, and if I'm not mistaken, it is the only album on my countdown that is entirely instrumental, which is pretty interesting. Sometimes less is more, right? But not so much in this case because there's a lot going on in this album for sure. Released in 2009 on Prosthetic Records. It's the debut album from Animals as Leaders, or as my roommate calls them, Animals with Wieners. They're basically, three-piece, if you've never heard of them, three-piece band, 2 guitars and a drummer. Both guitars play very, low-tuned 8-string guitars, wide range. They kind of mimic the bass, although on this album, this was all just done by basically one guy, Tosin Abasi, with some other help with, additional, programming and, I guess some drumming and bass. There is actual bass guitar on this album, but live they don't even use a bass player apparently. Kind of got some of that jazz fusion sort of element that you would hear on an album like Cassiopeia. Ton of crazy musicianship, but in a different way. Condense, take a lot of the crazy stuff from that and condense it into these blistering story guitar runs, crazy digital effects, and sometimes electronic drum samples, and just tons of different textures of clean guitar, distorted guitar. Great stuff. Opens up with Tempting Time, which has a lot of cool time signature changes, and definitely catapults you right into the crazy rhythmic intensity and complexity of this entire project. Thoroughly at Home is another one with just crazy rhythmic things going on. There's a beat near the beginning where the snare drum is displaced on the offbeat in a way that I don't even know how anybody plays that in real life. I'm sure the guys in the band do it, but On Impulse is another one that I didn't even really know that song until I went back recently and re-listened to the whole album, and love that song. So epic. The cool melodic riffing at the end is great. Price of Everything and the Value of Nothing is another good one. CAFO was the big song from this album that everybody, that was everyone's first time hearing Animals as Leaders, was the song CAFO with the music video. Craziest sweet picking intro. People were like, is this even real? This doesn't sound like a human could possibly do that. And, seeing this guy play it is just mind blown. And it's a really cool song. It's easily one of the best songs on the album. Just takes you on this journey with lots of crests and valleys. And closing track, Song of Solomon, is so underrated. That's probably my favorite song on the album, or one of my favorite. Very cool video of Tosin Abasi, the guitar player, or lead guitar player I should say, and lead songwriter, playing it live on EMG TV. I used to show it to my dad and my friends, and be like, yo, check this thing out, this is the craziest guitar playing I've ever seen. He plays Song of Solomon, and just killer. And Wave of Babies, of course, which was a bonus track on a couple editions. So amazing guitar work. If you're not a fan of instrumental music, you might not like it very much, but if you want to get into some progressive metal, it's not a bad starting point. Kind of overwhelming with everything going on, but excellent album. So there it is.